If the data coming out of Fiorano is accurate, then Ferrari is no longer simply chasing. They are getting ready to launch a serious attack. It all started with a decision that didn't make much sense on the surface, holding back their major upgrade package and waiting until Miami. But behind that choice lies a much more calculated and patient process. Lewis Hamilton recently ran one of Ferrari's most intensive test sessions of the season. He completed 142 laps, trying multiple configurations, with a strong focus on how the car manages energy across an entire lap. In modern Formula One, straight-line speed is not just about raw engine power. It's about how efficiently that energy is harvested, stored, and deployed, and in this area, Mercedes has held a clear advantage. Ferrari knows this very well. Charles Leclerc has openly stated that the upgrades coming to Miami are crucial if they want to close that gap. Meanwhile, team principal Frédéric Vasseur has hinted that this package could be more than just a standard upgrade. He described it as something closer to a package and a half, a multi-step development arriving all at once. The bigger picture is now starting to take shape. Ferrari isn't just refining aerodynamics with a new rear wing and an updated floor. They are trying to align everything from aero efficiency to energy deployment to finally address the most fundamental weakness of the SF26. And that is not a small change. The question now is whether this will be enough to actually shift the balance of power on the grid, or if Ferrari is taking a massive risk by putting so much into one single moment in Miami. What Ferrari has done during this enforced pause in the calendar is not simply extend its preparation time. They have used it to fundamentally reshape how they approach development. The absence of races throughout April has removed the usual pressure to deliver immediate results every weekend. This has allowed the team to operate in a more controlled and analytical manner. Rather than chasing lap time in isolation, the focus has shifted towards understanding the car as a complete, integrated system. The SF26 has already shown it can deliver results. 3 consecutive podium finishes in the opening rounds have established Ferrari as the closest challenger to Mercedes. Both Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc have consistently extracted strong performance from the car, and the team currently sits firmly in second place in the constructors' standings. But those encouraging results have not changed the underlying performance hierarchy. Mercedes still holds a measurable advantage, particularly in conditions where straight-line efficiency becomes decisive. This has been visible in both qualifying and race pace, especially when running in clean air. The gap may not be dramatic, but it is consistent. And in Formula One, a consistent deficit is often more worrying than an occasional lack of pace. Hamilton has been clear in his assessment. Straight-line speed, he says, remains one of the key factors separating Ferrari from Mercedes. That observation matches the data and has heavily shaped Ferrari's development priorities. What is impressive is not only that Ferrari has identified the problem, but how they have chosen to tackle it. Their testing program during this break has been extensive and carefully structured. A session with previous cars at Mugello provided important reference points, allowing the team to compare current performance against known baselines. This was followed by the Fiorano test, conducted under artificial wet conditions using the track's sprinkler system. This setup gave them a rare opportunity to gather consistent, repeatable data in a highly controlled environment. The significance of Fiorano lies in its controllability. With stable track conditions, engineers could focus on specific parameters with much higher confidence, eliminating many of the usual variables that complicate analysis. Hamilton's 142 laps, covering 423 km, represent far more than simple mileage. They reflect a structured effort to explore different car configurations, evaluate system responses, and identify performance trends. The fastest lap time of 1:01:031 is largely irrelevant here. What truly matters is the consistency of the runs and the high volume of quality data collected. Pirelli confirmed the nature of the test. The track was artificially watered to create consistent wet conditions. Hamilton started with full wet tire configurations before moving on to intermediate tires. This was exactly the kind of controlled environment needed to isolate variables and deeply understand energy management. Within this framework, Ferrari's emphasis on energy deployment becomes much clearer. Modern F1 cars are defined as much by their hybrid systems as by their aerodynamics. The ability to efficiently harvest, store, and deploy electrical energy can make a decisive difference, especially on circuits where straight-line speed is critical. Ferrari's long-standing challenge has been integrating these systems without introducing instability. One of the main issues has been super clipping. the noticeable drop in power output as energy reserves deplete along a straight, exactly when maximum acceleration is needed. This has created a visible performance deficit compared to Mercedes, who manage their energy more effectively. Addressing this requires both hardware and software solutions, and Ferrari appears to be working on both. The revised rear wing, informally known as the Macarena wing, represents a significant aerodynamic step forward. It focuses on improving flap activation speed and reliability, allowing the system to respond more quickly and consistently. By reducing drag more effectively, the new wing helps the car achieve higher top speeds while also improving the overall energy profile. Lower drag means less energy is wasted maintaining speed, which frees up more deployment across the lap. Early estimates suggest a gain of around 6 kW from this update. While that may sound small, the cumulative effect, when combined with better energy management, can be meaningful. Complementing the wing is a new floor. As the main source of downforce, the floor is critical for aerodynamic efficiency. The updated design aims to maintain or even increase downforce levels while simultaneously reducing drag. Achieving this balance is essential for strong performance across varying track conditions. The real key lies in integration. Ferrari is not treating aerodynamics and energy management as separate issues. Instead, they are developing them as one cohesive system. The rear wing, the floor, and power unit software updates are all aligned toward the same goal: maximizing efficiency and eliminating the weaknesses that have held the SF26 back. Charles Leclerc has emphasized the importance of this collective effort, saying, "Development is super important. It's fundamental. We must all push in the same direction to bring Ferrari back to success." Frédéric Vasseur's comments add further context. By speaking of a package and a half, he signals strong confidence in the direction the team is taking. Ferrari also benefits from structural advantages. Under the current aerodynamic testing restrictions, the team has access to more wind tunnel and CFD time than several of its rivals. This extra development capacity increases the chances that the upgrades will perform as expected on track. There is also the possibility of introducing ADUO, additional power unit optimizations, after Miami, which could provide yet another performance boost. Beyond the technical side, what stands out is the internal atmosphere at Maranello. Reports suggest a calm and composed environment within the team, a level of serenity that is unusual in the high-pressure world of Formula One. Frank Montagny recently noted this relaxed atmosphere, which many see as a sign of genuine confidence in both the data and the development plan. This marks a noticeable departure from previous seasons where the team often appeared reactive and uncertain. In 2026, the approach feels more deliberate and structured, building a strong foundation first, then adding performance in a controlled, sustainable way. The consistent podium finishes so far reflect this philosophy, but consistency alone is not enough. To truly challenge Mercedes, Ferrari must turn that reliability into outright pace. Miami represents the first real opportunity to see if this strategy is working. The circuit's characteristics, with its emphasis on straight-line speed and energy efficiency, make it an ideal stage for the new package. If the upgrades deliver as expected, the performance gap to Mercedes could narrow significantly. However, the risk should not be underestimated. By concentrating multiple major developments into one package, Ferrari increases the chance that any integration issues, reliability problems, or differences between simulation and reality could limit the impact. This is the high-stakes trade-off in their approach. Hamilton's experience and feedback have been central to the process. His input during the Fiorano test has helped the team better understand how all the systems interact. And this brings us back to the central question: is Ferrari on the verge of finally eliminating its biggest weakness, or is this just another step in a much longer journey? If the improvements in energy deployment, aerodynamic efficiency, and overall system integration come together as planned, Miami could mark a real turning point, not necessarily a complete shift in the order, but a clear sign that Ferrari has closed the gap and learned how to overcome its limitations. So, has Ferrari genuinely unlocked the performance it has been searching for, or will they discover that matching Mercedes is even more complex than it appears? Let me know what you think. Is this the start of a genuine Ferrari comeback or a risky gamble that could backfire? Drop your opinion in the comments below.